what has it been like operating during the pandemic? Have more people been using the food bank? Are there fewer donations? Anything like that?
Yeah, so I mean, we definitely are seeing a spike in people coming. The need is obviously, during these times is going to be a lot greater. We have although the food bank's been open since 2012, there was a little bit of a lull and we kind of changed hands. So we don't have a lot of statistics or numbers to give you other than we've been doing it for pretty much since the pandemic,
Yeah,
really,
we
since we've taken it
kind of
over.
like February 2020-ish. So
Yeah.
right before.
So we definitely see higher numbers this year. We've already almost reached the same numbers just from this year, January, February, March, April, May, from our whole year last year. So definitely a spike. But again, we're getting more known out there as well, which is also a help. So, but for sure there's a need. I mean, this is challenging times for everybody. So we've definitely seen a drop in donations for like actual physical food, obviously, because people are afraid to go. We can't really go anywhere. So we don't have a lot of people coming in, bringing physical food to us, but we have been so blessed by people like YNCU, who's giving us cash, which is amazing, because then we can go out and purchase exactly what we need, right? When people bring food, they tend to bring a lot of dry goods, right? Like pastas and stuff like that.
A lot of dry goods.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Which for sure.
There's a lot of like fresh and frozen type things that like the milk, cheese, frozen meat, like things like that it's a lot harder to get your hands on, and it's more expensive when you do. So the financial donations have been incredible because we're able to provide people with fresh and like frozen food, which is definitely an area that is super important.
Yeah.
So.
Perfect. So I wanted to go more into your donations then. How can residents help your cause? Are you still accepting donations during this whole pandemic and situation? Where can people either go to drop off things, or is there a spot they can even donate some money at, like online or a website?
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely can still come to the church to drop food if they want to bring actual food. We just really ask people if they would call, especially with lockdown right now. Obviously, we have to really watch our protocols and how many people are here and that kind of stuff. So definitely if they called the church, 519-442-4448. And so they could definitely call the church, drop off. We have a webpage, cedarviewchurch.com. They can definitely reach us there as well. So either way, financial, actual food, everything is more than welcome. It definitely will be used and definitely a need for sure.
Yeah, and we're still doing kind of all when the food comes in, we kind of just leave it alone for a while and make sure, no one's touching it for a bit. And then we do have volunteers coming with like gloves and stuff, and we're doing some organizing. So mostly me right now, because we're not having anyone else really come into the building, but we are still kind of doing all the distancing stuff that way and the safety stuff. So yeah, but physical donations are still awesome. And sometimes we just have people leave them outside of the church. It's incredible. Yeah. And we bring them in the morning. So yeah, it's been great.
So to focus more on YNCU, how has the donation from YNCU helped your organization during this difficult time?
Again, being able to purchase stuff that is not just dry goods, that is a huge thing, because it's great to give somebody some pasta and stuff like that, but to be able to give them healthier, like, if I can say, it's not real food, but you know what I mean? Like milk, cheese, meat, those things that you can't just have sitting on a shelf for 6 months, those are things that you need to buy fresh. So YNCU, we're so thankful for you guys for your donation, because that's been we can stock up our freezers, be able to give people healthier options, fruit, vegetables, those kind of things, which is great, rather than a canned vegetable, which is lovely when you need it, but to be able to give them something fresh, it's amazing.
Now I'd like to speak more with Archie from YNCU here, just on the donations and where it's coming from. Where across the Grand River are you donating, and really why were these locations like Cedarview Church chosen?
Well, locations were chosen based on the communities that we serve. And based on the branch staff that were there meeting with members each day. In fact, Cedarview Church was a recommendation from one of the members that realized that the Paris location needed another food bank. So that's why we wanted to help wherever we could. As far as where the donations are going across Grand River, there's a food bank of Waterloo, there's Food for Kids Brantford, there's a local community center in Stratford. We also made a donation at the Shakespeare Firefighters fundraiser. But the idea was in 2020, we realized that not only did we have to keep our staff and our membership safe, we need to do what we could for the community. So we decided to create a fund for all the different communities we were in.
Let's talk more into that. Why was this initiative started? What role really did COVID-19 play in this?
Well, COVID made us rethink what was important as an organization. And what was important was the staff and membership safety. So we ensured that as an essential service, we could continue to serve the communities in a manner that allowed them to meet their needs, to provide them with alternative banking solutions, but also to let us reflect as an organization on what was really important, and that was our communities. So what we realized as we launched programs like Healthcare Heroes, and we opened up an online virtual district marketplace for small businesses to support them called Shop Your Neighborhood. As we did those things, we realized the theme for 2020 was neighbors helping neighbors. And at our annual general meeting, our Chief Executive Officer, Gord Harrison, announced that we would make an $18,000 location or donation across all of our different locations to support each of our different community organizations.
When it comes to this program, during this pandemic, what does the future hold for it and really hold for the YNCU?
Well, the future of community is always going to be there. That's going to be the central part of what we do. We've decided that in 2021, based on the feedback from our staff and our communities, that families in need is going to be a priority and continue to be a priority. We want to revisit that every year. We want to see what else we can do differently, what we can do better. We have a number of programs that are community focused. For example, we have a program called the Good Neighbors Program that allows our staff to volunteer their time with certain community organizations. And with those community organizations, we then make a donation to them for their volunteer work on top of that. So community will always be a focus. It may look a little bit different in future years, but the primary driver is the staff, the membership, and the communities we serve.
That's absolutely great to hear. Now, earlier you just mentioned the donation to the Shakespeare Volunteer Firefighter Association fundraiser. Can you tell us more about that? What was the response from the association, and really, why was the fundraiser held?
Well, the fundraiser was held because they're seeing 2 motor vehicle accidents per week, and they're a volunteer organization in need of life-saving equipment. When our staff that served that Shakespeare community heard that, they said, this is an important part of our community, this is an important part of our membership. So they wanted to make a difference and identified them as a recipient of one of the $1,000 donations. And really their goal overall as a fundraiser is to raise $50,000. So we just wanted to make sure we were contributing to that and doing our part.
Is there any way residents of the Stratford Perth area can get involved with the YNCU and really help increase these kinds of initiatives?
Oh, absolutely. A number of different ways to do it. First of all, you can stop by one of our branch locations and just start chatting with the manager and give them a sense of what you think is important in the community. You can also visit us at yncu.com/our-community to look at the initiatives that we're currently doing, and feel free to reach out to us and tell us what you see is important as one of our members.
Is there anything else you'd like to mention to our viewers that I haven't mentioned already?
Well, I just want to say that we are so very thankful for the staff and the membership that we have at YNCU and the different organizations like Cedarview Church Food Bank in our communities, and we hope to continue to keep working together in whatever way we can.
And Wendy, yourself as well, did you have anything that you'd like viewers in the Brantford Brant area to know about the Cedarview Church and the food bank?
Yeah, absolutely. That we are so thankful for the giving that they have done. Please know that we would, we're always taking more donations. We want to be here to help support our community and just really help those in need. So even if people know of people who are in need, please let them know that Cedar View Church is available, to help in those areas. So yeah, we want to do all that we can to kind of be that help in the community. And thank you to the ones like YNCU who are, like truly, we just so appreciate you guys for donating.